From towering pyramids to lost cities swallowed by jungle and sand, history is filled with ancient civilizations that rose to greatness, then disappeared without warning. Who were they? What caused their collapse? And why do we still struggle to uncover the truth? In this video, we'll dive into 5 powerful ancient societies that mysteriously vanished, leaving behind more questions than answers. Fact 1. One of the world's earliest urban cultures, the Indus Valley Civilization flourished around 2500 BCE in what is now modern-day Pakistan and northwest India. At its peak, it spanned over 1.25 million square kilometers and supported cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, each housing tens of thousands of people. What's astounding is how advanced it was for its time. The cities were laid out in precise grids, with sophisticated drainage systems, public baths, standardized weights, and even evidence of indoor plumbing. Unlike other ancient societies, the Indus people left behind no palaces, no temples, no evidence of war, and their script, still undeciphered, offers no insight into how they governed or what they believed. But around 1900 BCE, something changed. The cities began to decline. Buildings were abandoned, trade routes fell silent, and the civilization dissolved into scattered rural communities. What caused the collapse? There are many theories: shifting rivers that crippled agriculture, prolonged droughts, or even earthquakes that destabilized urban centers. Some historians suggest a slow internal decline, while others propose invasions by Indo-Aryan tribes. But the truth remains elusive, because their writing system has never been translated, and their culture left no grand narratives behind. The Indus Valley Civilization is a forgotten giant of history, whose fall is still one of the greatest archaeological mysteries ever uncovered. Fact 2. In 1986, Chinese construction workers near Guang'an, Sichuan province, made a discovery that would upend everything historians thought they knew about early Chinese civilization. Beneath the earth, they unearthed 2 massive sacrificial pits filled with jade artifacts, elephant tusks, and, most astonishing of all, giant bronze masks with exaggerated alien-like faces. These belonged to a civilization now known as Sanxingdui, which flourished around 1200 BCE but had been completely lost to history. What makes Sanxingdui so mysterious is that it seems to have no connection to the well-documented Shang dynasty, which was thriving in northern China at the same time. The art style, metallurgy, and religious practices were completely different, suggesting a parallel culture of staggering sophistication. Despite the wealth of artifacts, there are no written records, no buildings left standing, and no clear evidence as to why the Sanxingdui people vanished. The leading theory? A massive earthquake may have redirected the nearby Minjiang River, cutting off Sanxingdui's water supply and forcing survivors to migrate. Some believe they merged into the later Shu kingdom, but this is speculation at best. Even with new discoveries in nearby sites like Jinsha, the full story remains out of reach. Who exactly were these people? Why did they create such surreal bronze figures, and what did they believe? Until more evidence surfaces, Sanxingdui remains an isolated enigma in the annals of ancient history. Fact 3. Often considered the mother culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmecs emerged around 1200 BCE in the swampy jungles of modern-day Mexico. They are best known for their massive stone heads, some weighing over 40 tons, each carved from basalt and transported across great distances without the use of the wheel or beasts of burden. The Olmecs were pioneers of complex society in the Americas. They developed early forms of writing, practiced bloodletting rituals, and may have invented the Mesoamerican ball game later adopted by the Maya and Aztecs. And yet, almost nothing is known about them. We don't even know what they called themselves. The name Olmec comes from an Aztec word meaning rubber people. Their writing system remains undeciphered, and the meanings of their monuments and art are largely speculative. By around 400 BCE, the great Olmec cities like San Lorenzo and La Venta were abandoned. Why? Theories range from climate change and volcanic activity to internal upheaval or warfare. But there's no single event historians can point to. Some scholars believe the Olmecs didn't truly vanish, they were absorbed into later cultures, their influence quietly shaping future civilizations. Still, their sudden decline and the lack of direct records leave a haunting mystery at the foundation of ancient American history. Fact 4. Long before Athens and Sparta, an advanced civilization was thriving on the island of Crete, the Minoans. Flourishing between 3000 and 1400 BCE, the Minoans built magnificent palaces, most famously at Knossos, with labyrinthine layouts, colorful frescoes, and complex plumbing systems. They dominated the Aegean Sea through maritime trade and are credited with influencing later Greek culture. They had a writing system called Linear A, which still hasn't been deciphered, and their art reveals a peaceful, vibrant society, focused more on ceremony and nature than on war. Then, suddenly, they vanished. By 1450 BCE, many Minoan palaces were destroyed. Within a generation, their civilization faded into obscurity, overtaken by the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. What happened? One leading theory involves the Thera eruption, a cataclysmic volcanic explosion on the nearby island of Santorini around 1600 BCE. This may have triggered massive tsunamis, wiped out coastal cities, and disrupted agriculture across the region. Some archaeologists believe this disaster also inspired the legend of Atlantis, described centuries later by Plato. Others suggest that natural disasters merely weakened the Minoans, making them vulnerable to Mycenaean conquest. Yet no written Minoan records survive to tell their side of the story. We may never know if the Minoans fell by nature, war, or both. All that's left are ruins, myths, and the fading traces of Europe's first great civilization. Fact 5. For decades, archaeologists believed that the Clovis people were the first humans to set foot in the Americas. Emerging around 13,000 years ago, they are named after the distinctive fluted stone tools found near Clovis, New Mexico. These early hunters were skilled at killing mammoths and megafauna, and they rapidly spread across North America. Then, they disappeared. By around 10,000 BCE, Clovis sites vanished from the archaeological record. There's no evidence of a slow decline or transition, just a sudden stop. What caused it? One theory is the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which suggests a comet or meteor strike triggered massive climate change around 12,800 years ago. This would have altered ecosystems, wiped out animal populations, and devastated early human settlements. Another possibility is that they were outcompeted or replaced by other emerging groups. Recent discoveries suggest that humans were in the Americas thousands of years before Clovis, challenging the idea that they were the first. Despite numerous dig sites, there are no known Clovis burials, no art, and no written language. It's as if they briefly appeared on the world stage, changed human history, and vanished, leaving behind only their tools and a name that may not have even been their own. For every famous empire we study, there's another that faded into mystery. These vanished civilizations remind us how fragile history can be, how entire cultures can rise, thrive, and then disappear with barely a trace. Which one intrigued you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating deep dives into the world's greatest unsolved mysteries.